UFC Vegas, Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. But before we get to that, let's talk about how the last week's fight card went. It was going good. I told you guys to bet the house on Natalia Silva. And what happened? She absolutely killed it. And on top of that, the underdog lock of the night came through as well. The underdog lock of the night was Valentina Shevchenko. She took on Manon Fiorot. And other than Manon Fiorot holding her against the cage, trying to rack up points that way, Valentina Shevchenko completely and utterly controlled that fight everywhere it went. Besides her standing stationary, being pressed against the cage, that was kind of blowing me. So when I seen that, I already knew that, okay, when she fights Natalia Silva, it is a very clear cut and dry who's going to win that fight. And then the parlay went to shit when Bilal Muhammad went up against Jack Della Maddalena. And Bilal Muhammad, he really didn't fight the style of fight that he usually fights. Maybe Jack Della Maddalena is just that good to where, Bilal Muhammad's game plan was ineffective. When he said Canelo hands is what he was going to bring to the table and he was going to stand with Jack Della Maddalena, I thought he was actually trolling, but apparently he wasn't. So he didn't wrestle much. He couldn't get it off, and it was what it was.
Man, come on.
Kicking off the first fight of the night in the women's strawweight division, we got Tiny Tornado Tisha Pennington taking on Luana Pinheiro. Tisha Pennington's 14-7 in her MMA career. Luana Pinheiro 11-4 in her MMA career. Luana Pinheiro on a 3-fight losing streak. Tisha Pennington coming off that win over Carla Esparza. And then we can just say she got robbed that Tabitha Ricci fight that she has a loss before that in a split decision with Mackenzie Dern. The pick is Tisha Pennington. She's going to be the more overall active fighter. She doesn't slow. Luana Pinheiro she's got a good 4 minutes in her when it comes to fighting, and after that she wilts heavy, she wilts hard. She got choked out by Angela Hill. And Angela Hill's first submission in the UFC, I believe. And then the fight before that, she got KO'd by Amanda Hebos, spinning wheel kick, and then just followed up with some nasty punches. Split decision win over Michelle Waterson Gomez is very unimpressive. You know what I'm saying? A win over Sam Hughes, that's kind of decent. But Tisha Pennington's fought the better of the competition. She's going to have the cardio edge. She's going to have the volume edge. And I can see her having a physicality and a strength advantage over the taller Luana Pinheiro. So Tisha Pennington is the pick, and we move on to the next fight. The next fight on the card, we got Young Sung Park taking on Carlos Hernandez. Young Sung Park 9-0 in his professional career. Carlos Hernandez 10-4 in his professional career. Young Sung Park coming off the road to UFC, where he obviously beat every opponent because he's 9-0, and then he makes his debut in the UFC, hits a rear naked choke over Sung Yu Choi, and then beats Shannon Ross by a KO and liver shot, then beat his ass down. Shannon Ross is not anything spectacular. He had hype once, but that died a long time ago. Sung Woo Choi, okay, but at the same time, a very unproven opponent as well. So pretty much what I'm getting at is Young Sung Park. He's faced a lot of opponents who aren't really UFC caliber. They're past. He's only had 2 fights in the UFC, but the guys he faced, they're not like notable wins whatsoever. Carlos Hernandez, he's been in there with tough opponents. Tatsuro Taira, he has a loss to Tatsuro Taira. Ray Saruya got a loss to Ray Saruya, and then he just recently beat a road to the UFC in Naiman Jargal Tumen Dumbarao. Naiman Jargal Tumen Dumbarao 8-0 coming into that fight. And it was actually a very close fight. Carlos Hernandez won by split decision. And me personally, I don't think Carlos Hernandez won that fight. But he did show grittiness, he did show toughness, and he did show octagon experience in that fight. And that's probably why he got the nod. And all of his, split decision wins have been pretty controversial. A lot of people believe that he should have pretty much lost all his split decision wins. It is what it is. Carlos Hernandez has got good wrestling. His boxing is pretty decent. He has a pressure style. He'll be in your face, but he gets hit. And when he gets hit, sometimes he gets hurt. He gets wobbled. Even in that fight with Naiman Jargal, Tumen hurt Carlos Hernandez, and Carlos Hernandez ended up surviving. So he's got, like I said, he's got grittiness, he's got toughness. So he's gonna be in your face, but he is susceptible to getting, put away. We saw Tatsuro Taira hit him with a nasty counter left hook, and then follow up with some ground and pound, and referee stopped the fight there. He is susceptible to getting choked out too. So it's a lot of factors that play into this, however you want to play it or bet it. Young Sung Park, 9-0. He's got, I believe, just about every fight. His last 4 or 5 fights have been all finishes. So, he hasn't fought any caliber of opponent that Carlos Hernandez has fought, though, at the moment. So, it's tough. But I'm going to go ahead and side with Young Sung Park. I believe he can get it done. I've seen Carlos Hernandez hurt too many times, but at the same time, Carlos Hernandez, he's gritty, he's tough. He can bring on pressure and pace. And if Young Sung Park, realizes that he's still in the fight, he might start to wilt. But Young Sung Park's got some power. He's got some technique. And the dude, he got some pretty solid wrestling as well. So I'm going to go ahead and side with Young Sung Park. On to the next one. The next fight on the card is in the women's strawweight division. We got Elise Reed taking on Denise Gomes. Elise Reed coming off that win over 40-year-old Jessica Penne. Elise Reed, 8-4 in her professional career. Denise Gomez is 10-3 in her professional career, coming off that unanimous decision win over Karolina Kovacevic. The win before that beat a highly touted prospect in Eduardo Mora. Before that, lost a unanimous decision to Angela Hill, beat Yasmin Jauregui by KO, and then beat Bruna Brazil by KO as well. Elise Reed lost to Lupita Godinez, Lupi Godinez before the fight where she beat Jessica Penne, beats Jinyu Fry. Jinyu Fry, is not UFC caliber, and then she loses to Luma Luke Boomy in a submission, approach, because Luma Luke Boomy, and I don't know if you guys know this, she is predominantly a Muay Thai fighter, and she ended up finding a sub over Elise Reed. So the pick is gonna be obviously Denise Gomes. Denise Gomes is gonna be able to hit harder. She's got good hooks coming in, and she's actually being able to control her power a lot more. We've seen in her last fight, she's not, too overzealous. And then in the fight with Eduardo Mora, she's stuffing takedowns. She's looking real good doing it. And she's just going to have the not even a slight edge in physicality. She's going to have the physicality by a long shot. Elise Reed got some okay boxing. But if she wants to stand in the pocket with Denise Gomes showed you that she can knock people out how she did Yasmin Jauregui. Yasmin Jauregui, she was high on my radar. Still is. I still got faith in Yasmin to bounce back and, get some wins under her belt with this 2-fight losing streak that she's on. She's really fucking good. So I'm not giving up on her just yet. But yeah. Denise Gomes is the pick. I can actually see her. I can see her getting a sub off on Elise Reed, dropping her with something nasty if she don't get the KO, jumping on top of her. Maybe Elise Reed shoots in for a takedown. Denise Gomes pulls guillotine like she did on Karolina Kovacevic with plenty of time left to finish it, and finishes Elise Reed. So the pick is Denise Gomes. On to the next one. The next fight on the card is in the women's bantamweight division. We got Luana Santos moving up in weight, taking on Dayanara Lisboa. Now, Luana Santos, she usually fights down at 125. Now she's moving up to 135. I mean, you could chalk it up to her having a lack of discipline and not wanting to cut the weight no more, or maybe her feeling more comfortable at this weight class and not having to cut weight and feel drained. I mean, it is what it is, however you want to look at it. Anyway, Luana Santos 8-2 in her professional career, coming off that loss to Casey O'Neill. Theonara Lisboa 7-2 in her professional career, undefeated in the UFC at the moment. She's had 2 fights in the UFC. All right, now the Casey O'Neill loss for Luana Santos, she really couldn't stop the takedowns. Casey O'Neill just beat the piss out of her. Casey O'Neill is actually pretty good, and I don't know why a lot of people they want to discredit Casey O'Neill like she is not good. Casey O'Neill is a fucking dog, and she can strike and she can take you down. And when she takes you down, she's got actually really good ground and pound. Anyway, before that, she beats Mariana Akpova and then Stephanie Egger. Both of these wins are pretty unimpressive. Nothing special about these wins whatsoever. Then she beats Juliana Miller before that. Juliana Miller she's the one who beat Ivana Petrovic, the 2 fight cards ago where we bet Ivana to get the job done and Ivana dropped the ball. That's the girl that Luana Santos knocked out in the first round. Juliana Miller had nothing for her. After the first punch, she looked like, she was just in over her head, shelled up against the cage. Luana Santos did that to her. Now she's taking on Tianara Lisboa. Tianara Lisboa is a 2-time Muay Thai champion. She's fought the likes of Valentina Shevchenko twice in Muay Thai. So she's been in there with some pretty high level fighters already, and her striking is going to be on a better level than Luana Santos. Luana Santos likes to come out aggressive, likes to throw hands, and if she's trying to throw hands with probably the bigger Tianara Lisboa, I can see Tianara Lisboa, making her learn her lesson and trying to trade with her. Because Tianara Lisboa, she throws hands, she can throw bombs, and on top of that, she's got a good, I'm not even going to say it's really like a judo base, because I don't know if she actually practices a judo, but she's got good judo throws. Luana Santos has a judo base, and I mean, it's okay. I've seen her, use the judo base to her advantage, and I've seen her try to use the judo base to where it fucks her over. So you can never be too sure with how her judo is going to look on any given certain day. The pick for me, personally, is going to be Tianara Lisboa. She's the underdog in this fight. Like I said, Luana Santos, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. She's coming up in weight because she don't want to cut the weight no more. And I think her having that last loss to Casey O'Neill where she got dominated, it can affect your mental. And Tianara Lisboa, coming off a win, a year and a half ago, and then she ended up having to have surgery on her knee, so she's been, kind of just sitting out waiting for her shot to come back into the UFC. And I think, she continues to be undefeated in the UFC after this fight with Luana Santos. I'm just much more impressed with Tianara Lisboa. She's shown that she can do it all. She can strike. If it goes down to the ground, she's well versed in the ground. I mean, she does have a submission win in the UFC over Jessica Rose Clark. I mean, Jessica Rose Clark is nothing spectacular whatsoever. And then she's got that unanimous decision win over Ravina Oliveira. I mean, it was a unanimous decision. She did what she had to do. She pieced her up. Cool. Other than that, like Tianara Lisboa, she's got a list of finishes on her resume outside of the UFC and on the regional scene. I mean, so does Juliana. So does Luana Santos too, though. So if this fight, I can see Tianara Lisboa eking out a unanimous decision, and then at the same time, I can see this fight not going the distance. And you know how that plays out. One fighter can, pull some Hail Mary out of their ass and get the job done. So anyway, I'm not gonna draw this shit out too much longer. The pick is gonna be Tianara Lisboa. I believe there's good value on underdog, and I believe just with her stand-up experience and she's gonna have the size and physicality advantage. I believe that she does get the job done over Luana Santos. On to the next fight. The next fight on the card is in the men's featherweight division. We got Yadir Davale taking on Connor Matthews. Yadir Davale, 8-0 in his professional mixed martial arts career. Connor Matthews, 7-3 in his professional mixed martial arts career, where he's coming off 2 back-to-back knockout losses. in the UFC. Not a good look whatsoever. Knocks out. He gets knocked out by Dennis Bazooka in the third round, and then he gets knocked out by Jose Delgado, I believe, in the first round. I had Jose Delgado winning that fight too, by the way, and Jose Delgado did not disappoint. So yeah, and he's taking on a hungry young Yadier Davale, who's 8-0 in his professional mixed martial arts career. He's got power in his hands. Sometimes he can get a bit wild, but I'm not going to make this pick drawn out. I can see Yadier Davale, even if he does get wild, the chin on Connor Matthews is very, very suspect. You know, his chin is questionable at this point now because he's just getting put away. And like I said, he just got put away his last fight, which was 2 months ago. You know, when the brain gets rattled the way it does like that, it needs more time, in my opinion, than 2 months to bounce back from being KO'd. So, yeah, the pick is Yadier Davale. I believe, even though this is his UFC debut, he has fought in I believe he fought on the Contender Series. So he's fought in the Apex before. He's gonna be familiar with that cage. If it was any other event like a fight night in, you know, a different state, I could or a fight night in a bigger cage, I should say. If it was a fight night in a bigger cage, I may have my more suspicions and worries about this fight, how it transpires. But since it's the fact that they're going back to the Apex, I mean, like I said, Yadier Davale, he's going to be familiar with that cage. He knows the setting, so I don't think the lights are going to be too bright there because it's fucking, you know, a warehouse that they're fighting in. So I do believe Yadier Davale knocks out Connor Matthews. I mean, shit, I could see it happening in the second round. I believe he'll pull off a second round knockout if he don't pull off a first round knockout. So the pick is Yadier Davale. There's too many question marks around Connor Matthews' chin. I mean, if he's smart, he'll just look to pressure wrestle the entire time. But Yadier Davale has shown on the Contender Series that, you know, he can be scrappy, he can scramble as well as throw hands. So that's the pick, Yadier Davale by knockout. The next fight on the card is in the men's lightweight division. We got Jared Gordon taking on Thiago Moises. Jared Gordon, 20-7 in his professional mixed martial arts career. Thiago Moises, 19-8 in his professional mixed martial arts career. Now, the biggest thing that I want to highlight is the fact that Jared Gordon is almost 37 years old, and Thiago Moises is 30 years old. So Thiago Moises is just now really like entering his prime, and Jared Gordon is pretty much past his better days. Both these fighters coming out of, you know, good training camps. Jared Gordon, I believe, is at Killcliff FC or Killcliff, I believe, and then Thiago Moises fighting out of the American Top Team, and he's been training with the Fighting Nerds as well. Yeah, I mean, the pick for me here is probably going to be Thiago Moises. I believe he has more tread on his tires. Jared Gordon coming off that loss to Nasparak Hosparaz, where it was a split decision. It was good. I mean, Jared Gordon showed that, you know, even though when he's fighting like up-and-coming prospects, that he can give them a hell of a fight. The fight before that beats Mark Madsen, knocks him out. Fight before that, you know, there was an accidental head clash with Bobby Green. Well, he called himself King Green now. Accidental head clash, so the bout ended too damn early. In the fight before that, he took on Paddy Pimblett, where Paddy Pimblett won a unanimous decision. Very controversial because a lot of people believe that Jared Gordon actually won that fight. I mean, I watched that fight back, and like I said, all I can say is that fight was very fucking close. Now, Thiago Moises coming off that win over Trey Ogden, unanimous decision. Trey Ogden, I believe he broke his arm or some shit early in the fight. Anyway, then before that win, he takes on Ludovic Klein, where Ludovic Klein beats him by a unanimous decision. Then he beats Mitch Ramirez. Before that, you know, TKO'd him, I mean, via leg kicks. So Thiago Moises, he can mix it up. He can throw down, and he's got a good grappling base too. So he has that jiu-jitsu in his pocket. Anyway, the win before the TKO leg kick win, takes on Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis just handles him. And then the fight before that beats Melquizio Costa by rear naked choke, and that's a good win. And that age is good, seeing where Melquizio Costa is currently in the UFC on a 3-fight win streak, and he's also on this card as well. Jared Gordon, we can pretty much say that his weakness is the ground game, but at the same time, I believe Thiago Moises will have success on the feet. I believe Thiago Moises can out kickbox Jared Gordon, and if it does go if it does go down to the ground, I can see Thiago Moises having the clear advantage down there. I mean, Thiago Moises does train with Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson gave Jared Gordon his first submission loss in the UFC. And like I said, he's Thiago Moises' training partner, so you know they got to be working together. And Grant Dawson giving him the 4x4 play on where Jared Gordon is weak and where he's strong. So the pick is going to be Thiago Moises. I believe that he can out kickbox Jared Gordon. Don't get me wrong, Jared Gordon, he's got hands. He comes with pressure. He'll be in your face the entire time, and I believe that's where he'll end up getting a mistake made on his part, where Thiago Moises can drag this fight down to the ground and just impose his will on Jared Gordon. So that's the pick, Thiago Moises. He's younger. He's just entering his prime. Jared Gordon is a good fighter, but his prime days are past him, man. I mean, once you hit a certain age in the UFC, it's just you start to fight these younger guys and you just realize, like, yeah, I'm a gritty, I'm a dog, but they just got the youth on their side, and it's what you call the passing of the torch. On to the next fight. Thiago Moises is going to be the pick. The next fight on the card is in the men's lightweight division. We got Gabe Green taking on Mateus Camilo. Now, Gabe Green, he's coming off 2 back-to-back losses, where the first loss he most recently suffered was to Brian Battle, where it was almost two years ago. He just blitzes Brian Battle, and Brian Battle just fucking chins him, knocks him clean the fuck out with a counter right hook, puts his dick in the dirt, makes him fuck the mud. Nothing too much to say about it. Gabe Green blitzed across the octagon like a raging dumbass and got chinned. Okay, and then the fight before that, loses a unanimous decision to Ian Machado Gary. Ian Machado Gary, of course, like, you're gonna lose a unanimous decision to him. Like, all he does is point fight. So, as is his technique, it's his tactic. So of course, like, would expect Ian Gary just to finish him. I mean, Ian Gary barely finishes anybody nowadays, so it's like, it is what it is. But the fight before that, beats Johan Lainez by knockout. Then he beats Phil Rowe by unanimous decision, which was almost 4 years ago. Loses to Danny Rodriguez about 5 years ago. So, I mean, Gabe Green has not been active whatsoever. I mean, I've been hearing rumors float around that he's been suffering like injury after injury. That's what's been really holding him up from actually taking fights. So he's coming back from a 2-year layoff. Now he's 11-5 in his professional career, and usually fights at welterweight. So he's dropping down to lightweight to fight Mateus Camilo. And honestly, I don't know how it's going to play out, because a lot of these fighters, when they drop down to a lower weight class, they think they're going to be like weight bullies, and they think they're going to have a clear cut strength advantage. But once you realize, like, if you actually cut weight and you've been, in combat sports, I mean, the lighter you go down, the more experienced, more agile, the more cardio that they have down there. Yeah, you can have the strength advantage, but once that strength wilts and these guys are just in your face constantly, that's when, your true character starts to show, and how much you really want to be in that octagon start to show. Now he's taking on Mateus Camilo. Mateus Camilo's last fight, coming off of the Korean Zombies fight promotion, where he took on Doroba. I'm not even going to try to pronounce dude's first name, but he took on a guy named Nabatov, and Nabatov was in the Dana White. He was in one of these fight cards, pre-fight or post-fight conferences. He hops on a mic, asks Dana, like, Dana, give me a title, or not even give me a title shot, but he's like, Dana, give me a fight in the UFC. I'm 9-0. I'm ready for that jump up an opportunity. Dana White tells me, yeah, come on the stage. We'll talk about it. So they booked him a fight in Korea, to where he fought Mateus Camilo, and the fight was pretty much hyped up around Nabatov, and he goes in there and fight Mateus Camilo, and Mateus Camilo just styles on him, beats his leg apart with low calf kicks, has better striking, able to stuff takedowns, able to reverse positions, able to get right back up when he takes him down. Like, this is the fucking dude. Nabatov is obviously a good wrestler. He was big for the division too, and Mateus Camilo really just showed him, like, all right, yeah, you're 9-0. I'm 9-2 or 8-2, but there's still levels to this shit. Mateus Camilo is a scrappy dude. He has good hands. He has good submissions in his arsenal. On a 5-fight win streak at the moment. And Gabe Green coming back after a 2-year layoff, dropping down to 155 from 170. Yeah, my initial pick is gonna be Mateus Camilo, obviously, because like I said, Gabe Green's coming down in weight. We don't know how Gabe Green's gonna look. We don't even know if this fight's gonna go on, to be honest, because you're dropping all the way down to lightweight, and you're normally a welterweight. So I don't. I mean, maybe with the injuries that he's had, the weight just naturally came off because he really wasn't doing too much of shit. That's honest to God how I see it. But getting chinned the way he got chinned by Brian Battle his last fight, I just can't back him because that low IQ right there is baffling. It's crazy. I believe that if Gabe Green does have success, it'll be early on in the fight, and Mateus Camilo will eventually have a pace that Gabe Green can't keep up with, dropping down 20 pounds to make this fight, and Mateus Camilo just out cardios him. I can see him winning a unanimous decision over Gabe Green. Gabe Green has fought the better of the competition, yes, don't get me wrong whatsoever, but like I said, it's been 2 years since we've seen him in the cage, and he's dropping down from 175 or 170 to 155. Not a good sign to me. So early pick for me is going to be Mateus Camilo, but if anything changes during the weigh-ins, if you're a part of the Parlay Politics group on Facebook, you will be updated on that pick. So the pick right now is Mateus Camilo. He looks good. His ground game's good. His stand-up game's good. He knows how to get up if he's taken down, and he's very, very composed. So on to the next one. The next fight on the card is in the men's featherweight division. We got Julian Erosa taking on Melquizio Costa. Julian Erosa on a 3-fight win streak. Melquizio Costa on a 3-fight win streak. Julian Erosa 31-11 in his mixed martial arts career. Melquizio Costa 23-7 in his mixed martial arts career. Now both of these fighters, like I said, they're on a nice win streak. Julian Erosa beat old man Darren Elkins his last fight. Makes Darren Elkins just look like shit. I mean, anybody with a smart brain would have told you that a person nicknamed The Damage is eventually going to wear that damage, and Darren Elkins was 40 years old going into that fight. So I knew that was going to be an easy win for Julian Erosa. The win before that beats Christian Rodriguez by guillotine. Christian Rodriguez, we've been over this on the channel before. He's known as the prospect killer. Christian Rodriguez beats any prospect up and coming in the UFC, but struggles with the guys who actually got that MMA experience, because like I said, he's not fighting veterans in the fight game, but when he comes across a veteran in the fight game, that's when he has trouble. Fight before that, subs up Ricardo Ramos, same thing, same recipe, submission by guillotine choke. It is what it is. Ricardo Ramos, he is all right. He's nothing to go ahead and, hype yourself up about. Now, Melquizio Costa coming over a unanimous win over Christian Rodriguez, the prospect killer. So that's something they both got in common. They both beat Christian Rodriguez. Julian Erosa just got Christian Rodriguez out of there quicker than Mel Costa did, but Mel Costa showed that, he can stand there and outpoint and look better than a good Christian Rodriguez is a good fighter. That's all I can say. I mean, Juicy J caught him, or Julian Erosa, his nickname is Juicy J. Julian Erosa just caught him slipping with a guillotine and made him pay for it. Anyway, the fight before Mel Costa beats Christian Rodriguez, he submits Andre Fili. Andre Fili's a veteran in the UFC. Mel Costa made that look pretty easy. And the fight before that beat Shylon Nerdenbecky. Shylon Nerdenbecky got some good fucking... I'm not going to say... He's got some good wrestling, okay? Shylon Nerdenbecky, if you take him down to the ground, or if he takes you down to the ground, you could be in some trouble. But he's, nothing to go ahead and be like, oh yeah, this guy's the next coming of, John Jones. Like, nah, Shylon Nerdenbecky ain't that, but he'll give you a tough fight. So, like I said, both of these fighters on a 3-fight win streak. Let's just break it down to this. Both of these guys have a really good ground game. So their ground game, in my opinion, will end up canceling each other's out. I don't see Julian Erosa subbing up Melquizio Costa. I don't see him guillotining Melquizio Costa. Melquizio Costa, Julian Erosa's got long legs, long limbs. So I don't really see you having any. I don't see you having too much success subbing him up either. Where Julian Erosa lacks is he has his hands down low during the stand-up engagements. Melquizio Costa stand-ups looking better and better every time he fights. I mean, dude's got powerful kicks, snaps him to the body, got good hooks, good straights, good one-twos. He's in a nutshell, Melquizio Costa has better stand-up than Julian Erosa, and I believe that's where this fight is predominantly will take place. I believe that Melquizio Costa can catch Julian Erosa and put him down because Julian Erosa has been knocked out 8 out of his 11 losses. So that's a huge, significant, thing that you need to be writing down when you're making your predictions and you're doing your studies. Julian Erosa can be knocked out, and Melquizio Costa has power to do just that. So the grappling nullifies itself. Melquizio Costa is going to have the advantage in the striking department, and I see Melquizio Costa finding a knockout and putting Julian Erosa down. Let's see. I'll try to predict the round where it takes place. I say second round. Second round, Melquizio Costa puts Julian Erosa to sleep. That's the pick. On to the next one. The next fight on the card is in the men's middleweight division. We got Dustin Stoltzfus taking on Nursultan Ruziboyev. Now, Dustin Stoltzfus coming off that knockout over Marc-Andre Barriault 6 months ago, where hit him with a right hook and then ground and pounded Marc-Andre Barriault out. Marc-Andre Barriault just sent Bruno Silva to the hospital last weekend. That was, I'm not going to say that was crazy, but, we've never really seen Bruno Silva done like that, especially by a guy in Marc-Andre Barriault who is susceptible to getting knocked out and losing. But anyway, fight before that, he loses to Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira hits him with a spinning elbow in a fight that was pretty fucking close. Dustin Stoltzfus had a lot of good success in that fight, and Bruno Ferreira just pulls out a spinning elbow Hail Mary, fucking fucks Dustin Stoltzfus up. It was what it was. The win before that, he submits I hate saying dude's name. Punahele Soriano submits Punahele Soriano with a rear naked choke, and that is a win that ages pretty damn well because Punahele Soriano has been on a nice win streak, and he's been busting parlays. Let's just put it that way, because I believe both fights, I think he's on like a 2-fight win streak, and both fights I believe he was the underdog, and he showed that he's here to stay, and he's making statements in the middleweight division. Fight before that, loses to Abus Magomedov by a front kick. Abus catches him with a front kick, staggers him, and then he just puts the 1-2 on him and fucks Dustin Stoltzfus up. Win before that, don't even matter. Dwight Grant. Is Dwight Grant even still in the UFC? Who knows? It was like almost 3 years ago, so it is what it is. Now, Dustin Stoltzfus, he's got good hands. He will be in your face. He can drag the fight down to the ground. He's got a decent wrestling. I would say that Dustin Stoltzfus is a good overall all-around fighter. The only thing that Dustin Stoltzfus lacks is fight IQ. Dustin Stoltzfus puts himself in situations to get knocked out too many damn times, and that's exactly what happened with Bruno Ferreira, and that's exactly what happened with Abus Magomedov. Now he's taking on Nursultan Ruziboyev. Ruziboyev's only loss in the UFC was to Joaquin Buckley at welterweight, and Joaquin Buckley, that is a that is a loss that ages well because Joaquin Buckley has been on a tear in welterweight. Another thing that you should note about Ruziboyev, he's 6'5", fighting at middleweight, and has a 76-inch reach. Like, dude is massive for the division. Dustin Stoltzfus 6 feet tall. All right, now I told you Dustin Stoltzfus wins losses. Dustin Stoltzfus is 3-2 out of his last 5. Ruziboyev is 4-1 out of his last 5, with the only loss being to a top contender in Joaquin Buckley down a weight class. Let me get a drink real quick, because, man, I need to clear my throat. All right. Now, Ruziboyev coming off that knockout win in the second round over Eric McConaughey about 2 months ago. Eric McConaughey takes the fight on short notice. I forgot who Ruziboyev was supposed to fight, but Eric McConaughey stepped in, and Eric McConaughey didn't look bad, but Ruziboyev he's got like piston-like punches. When I say his punches are straight, they're like sniper, like straight down the pipe, fast, hard, and they can stagger the fuck out of you if you get hit by him. Like, he's a tall, lanky, skinnier guy for the division, but dude's clearly got a shit ton of power. He's 35-9 in his professional career. Dustin Stolzfus is 16-6 in his professional career. Ruziboyev has about, I think, 30 or 21 out of his 35 wins have come by stoppage. He's finished the fight, whether it's a submission, whether it's him knocking people the fuck out. So Dustin Stolzfus has a lot to worry about taking on Ruziboyev, because I don't think that he'll have much success taking Ruziboyev down. We've seen Ruziboyev has pretty decent takedown defense. He has a good ground game where he can threaten you with submissions. And on top of that, he's crisp and clean on the feet. He's got power, he's got technique, and he's got patience. That's one thing that Dustin Stolzfus lacks. So I don't see Dustin Stolzfus coming up with a 15-minute game plan to where he's going to be able to control a Ruziboyev. Ruziboyev, like I said, he's patient, man. He's going to pick his shots perfectly, and once they connect, they're going to stagger. I don't see this fight going the distance. I believe Nursultan Ruziboyev beats Dustin Stolzfus by knockout. Plain and simple. Matter of fact, I'm going to just say Ruziboyev hits him with an uppercut and turns his lights off. So the pick is Ruziboyev, and we move on to the next fight. The next fight on the card, we got both fighters moving up to the lightweight division. We got Super Sadiq Yusuff taking on Myron the Legend Santos. Sadiq Yusuff 13-4 in his professional mixed martial arts career. Myron Santos 15-1 in his professional fight career on a 3-fight win streak. Sadiq Yusuff on a 2-fight losing streak where he was knocked out by Diego Lopez, and then he lost a unanimous decision to Edson Barbosa. So Sadiq Yusuff is 2 of 3 out of his last 5, and Myron Santos is 4-1 out of his last 5. Got beat up, pieced up by Dan Argueta in LFA, but it is what it is. That's LFA. He's come to the UFC, and he looked good the Con Oakley fight, and then he fights Francis Marshall on his official debut in a fight that I believe Francis Marshall won. That fight was a clear robbery, and I bet for Myron Santos to win. So this is not a bias, take whatsoever. I just see what I see, and I tell the truth behind it. Myron Santos did not win that fight. Francis Marshall clearly won that fight. Even Myron Santos himself said that he did not feel like he won the fight during the press fight in the post-fight interview. So that says a lot. I respect Myron Santos for being up forth and honest about the fact that he did not win that fight. I mean, that gained more respect in my book for Myron Santos. I mean, he could have been one of them fighters like, oh no, I definitely won, knowing damn well he didn't win. So hats off to Myron Santos. Seems like a really good dude, real stand-up guy, very young in this fucking sport, only 24 years of age, training out of Extreme Couture, got a good team behind him. So he's got a good future ahead of him. But if he brings that bullshit that he brought, when he fought Francis Marshall, where he really lost, but was gifted a split decision, because obviously the UFC is trying to build him up. If he brings that bullshit to Sadiq Yusuff, man, I'm telling you, Sadiq Yusuff would do that to him, because Francis Marshall dropped Myron Santos in the first round, had him looking fucking dazed and confused and shit. It was looking bad for Myron Santos. And after the fight, before they read the official decision, I'm like, well, damn, there goes the parlay. Fucking Myron Santos couldn't get the job done, didn't do enough. But I guess the judges seen something that I didn't see. It is what it is. They gave him the win, and I was happy because the parlay hit. Okay, cool. Like I said, Sadiq Yusuff coming off that loss to Diego Lopez, where Diego Lopez just overwhelmed him, blitzed him, started hitting him with uppercuts, was fucking rocking and rattling them, had them all type of fucked up. It was bad. It was bad, because I had bet that Sadiq Yusuff would win that fight, and I believe I slept on Diego Lopez that time, and Diego Lopez showed me a reason why not to sleep on him. So, yeah, Diego Lopez got the job done. But Sadiq Youssef, man, he's a good striker. He's got power, he's got speed, he's got technique, he's got volume. He's not really a pressure wrestler. He doesn't. Wrestling is not really in his game. He's not going to sit there and try to wrestle with you. He prefers to stand and bang with you. Myron Santos is a very good counter striker. So this is going to be a good chess match where if Sadiq Youssef makes a mistake, Myron Santos can catch him with something big, catch him with something heavy, and hurt him. And at the same time, if Sadiq Youssef puts his foot on the gas, blitzes Myron Santos like Francis Marshall did, pieces him up, we've seen that Myron Santos can get hurt. So the fact that Myron Santos he's a favorite. These odds are pretty close, and as they should be, because this is a 50-50 coin flip fight. Either fighter could take it home. I'm going to side with the fact that, Sadiq Youssef fought Arnold Allen. Yeah, he lost to Arnold Allen by unanimous decision. Had key moments in that fight. Arnold Allen is a banger. He'll knock you the fuck out. He's got hands. He's got pressure. Sadiq Youssef survived that. Sadiq Youssef also fought Alex Caceres. Beat Alex Caceres by unanimous decision. He fought Edson Barbosa. Edson Barbosa beat him by unanimous decision, but Sadiq Youssef had good moments in that fight as well. And then he's coming off that loss to Diego Lopez. Myron Santos has not fought anybody even close to the level of opposition that Sadiq Youssef has fought. So I believe that with all the trouble that Myron Santos had taking on Francis Marshall in his last fight, I believe Sadiq Youssef, with his sheer, octagon experience and his sheer cage time in the UFC, I believe he puts together a good game plan where he can teach this young man Myron Santos a lesson about being, a levels fight. Because let's not get it twisted. If Myron Santos goes out here and slays Sadiq Youssef, that's a huge step up in competition for him, and he's gonna be fighting somebody that's borderline top 10. Like I said, they're trying to build Myron Santos. That's the vibe that I'm getting. I believe that putting him up against Sadiq Youssef is not the best way to build. And they may be thinking that, Sadiq Youssef just got knocked out by Diego Lopez, so his chin may be gone, and this may be a stepping stone for Myron Santos to get a good name under his belt. I think Sadiq Youssef's got more tread on the tires here. I believe that his octagon experience is going to show, and I believe that Sadiq Youssef is going to outpoint Myron Santos, outvolume Myron Santos, put that foot on the gas, and we've seen Myron Santos get hurt before. So I'm not going to predict a knockout on this fight, but I can see one of these two fighters sleeping each other. But if they don't sleep each other, I can see Sadiq Youssef winning this fight. So Sadiq Youssef is the pick. He's the slight underdog. On to the next one. It's going to be a good fight for sure. The next fight on the card, we got Adolfo Bellato taking on Paul Craig. Paul Craig going back up to the light heavyweight division after that failed attempt at taking on the middleweights. That was his fight with Bo Nichols at middleweight, right? Yep. So yeah, he's going back up in weight. He's on a 3-fight skid. Paul Craig 17-9 in his professional career. Rodolfo Bellato 12-1 in his professional career on a 5-fight win streak or more. I believe his only 2 losses come to Vitor Petrino. We know Vitor Petrino is dog shit. Never bet Vitor Petrino. If you ever see him on a UFC fight card, fade Vitor Petrino. He's burned me twice already, and he was supposed to be a good prospect. And he's just a fraud. We ain't gonna talk too much about that. Paul Craig, man, it's tough because Paul Craig, he is one of those fighters that is just a wild card, man. He'll have good wins. He's got good wins. You feel me? And he's got bad losses. His bad losses are like him getting knocked out, him getting submitted, him getting knocked out, etc. You see where I'm going with this? Although he does have a current win over, who's the dude who just took the belt from fucking Alex Pereira? I can't believe this is losing my mind right now. Come on, man. I can't believe I can't remember dude's name right now. Magomed Ankalaev. Holy shit. I'm tired. It's about time to shut this shit down. So let's make this quick. Paul Craig does have a win over Magomed Ankalaev. He's got a win over Jamal Hill. He's got submission aces up his fucking sleeve where he could pull it off and he can end your parlay. He can end your night. You feel me? Adolfo Bellato, he's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got power in his strikes. We know Paul Craig is susceptible to getting knocked out. I believe that Rodolfo Bellato can be able, even though, that last fight where he went to a draw with Jimmy Crute, his last fight for Rodolfo Bellato, where Rodolfo Bellato really did look like shit. I believe Jimmy Crute could knock out Paul Craig. That may be a hot take, but I believe Jimmy Crute will fucking make Paul Craig's chin touch his shoulder. So I'm not gonna rate that too much of a bad decision because it was a majority decision. Wait, wasn't it? I thought these bitches went to a draw. They did go to a draw. What is going on? Okay, yeah. Anyway, I believe Jimmy Crute would knock out Paul Craig too. Rodolfo Bellato gonna have the power. I believe that he can stay away from the ground game of Paul Craig, find the chin, knock Paul Craig out. Either way it goes, man, this fight's not going the distance. So that'd be a safe bet because Rodolfo Bellato is like a minus 500 favorite, which is absurd. I don't believe he should be that much of a favorite. That's absolutely crazy. Paul Craig like a plus 400 or 350 underdog. I can't put no money behind Paul Craig though because Paul Craig gets knocked the fuck out too much for my liking. Like I said, 3-fight losing streak. His last win was damn near 2 years ago. You feel me? So it is what it is. That's the pick. Rodolfo Bellato by knockout, or this fight to not go the distance. And to not go the distance is probably the safest bet because Paul Craig could put Hail Mary submission out his ass. You never know. But I'm not going to trust that motherfucker at all. So on to the next one. The next fight on the card, we got Gilbert Burns taking on Michael Morales. Gilbert Burns 22-8 in his professional career. Michael Morales 17-0 in his professional career. This is what Gilbert Burns' retirement fight too, I believe. So what UFC is bogus. What a hell of a way to send out, a person who is arguably going to be in the Hall of Fame somewhere down the road by giving him Michael Morales, who's a surgeon prospect who has good power, good ground game, good wrestling. I mean, good stand-up, and he's young as shit, got the youth on his side. I mean, Gilbert Burns is almost 40 years old. Michael Morales is 25, so 17-0 at that. Gilbert Burns on a 3-fight losing streak, but his losses are to the top of the division. Let's not get it twisted. His losses are to the number 1, 2, and 3 fighters in the weight class, minus the champion, who is now Jack Della Maddalena. Loses to Bilal Muhammad by unanimous decision. Jack Della Maddalena TKOs him with a knee when Gilbert Burns goes to shoot in for a takedown. Sean Brady just completely shuts him down, beats him by unanimous decision. Now, Michael Morales has never fought anything close to that competition level. I mean, his most notable win, if you want to be frank, you want to be honest, you want to keep this shit a buck, is over Neil Magny, a old man Magny. That's going to be like the term for like these old fighters. I'm just going to start calling them old men. Old men Magny is who Michael Morales beat, but he TKO'd him, got him out of there, showed good ground game. I mean, handled him, held him down, got on, took his back, threw the legs in, stretched him out, flattened him out, and was just raining hooks on him, lefts, rights, and then he just started pounding him out with the left. Fight before that, beat Jake Matthews by unanimous decision. Him and Jake Matthews actually went to war. They both had good exchanges in the boxing. I mean, we just seen from that fight that Michael Morales can take a fucking punch and he can throw one right back at you. Fight before that, beats Max Griffin by unanimous decision. Max Griffin has some early success, drops Michael Morales in the first round, charges at him. Michael Morales gains his composure, and then he just completely starts styling on Max Griffin, taunting, emoting in the cage, doing his damn thing. As the fight went to the second and third, it was clear who's going to win the fight. Michael Morales. Max Griffin took him down that fight. Beats Adam Fugic before that by TKO in the third round. Adam Fugic has some good success. Michael Morales has good fucking power. Like, dude's strong as shit. And then the fight before that, KO Trevin Giles. Trevin Giles had good success taking Michael Morales down. Couldn't really hold him down. Michael Morales has good wrestling credentials. Makes his way back to the feet. Trevin Giles come blitzing in, and Michael Morales literally hits him with a straight right from hell. It was his chin literally touched his shoulder. It looked like Michael Morales spun the head off Trevin Giles. I thought Trevin Giles broke his fucking neck. That's how hard of a punch that Michael Morales hit him with. Gilbert Burns has power though. Gilbert Burns can throw down with the best of them. Gilbert Burns was arguably beating Jack Della Maddalena before Jack Della Maddalena put that Hail Mary KO, that Hail Mary knee KO out of his fucking pocket and knocked him out. So I can't sleep on Gilbert Burns. Michael Morales is a minus 800 favorite. Gilbert Burns is like a plus 475 underdog. If you're going to play any underdog on this ticket besides the underdog lock of the night that I'm going to drop, it would be Gilbert Burns. But me personally, I don't think Gilbert Burns is going to get it done. Gilbert Burns is, he's past his prime, and Michael Morales is going to be the pick. Michael Morales is up. He's next. So there it is. Now, on this section of the video, you already know I give you guys my top 5 locks. So without further ado, let's get right into who I am picking to get this job done. The most confident picks, the 5 most confident picks that I have for Saturday's fight card. UFC 315, UFC Vegas 106 at the Apex. Let's go. Go ahead, give me Tisha Pennington. I believe that she's going to have the better cardio edge. She's going to have the more volume behind everything that she throws. And she's got that unwilting, power that, it's not power, but that unwilt in her. She's going to keep pressing forward. Give me Denise Gomez. She's much better than Elise Reed. Give me Melquizael Costa. His striking is going to set the difference where both these fighters are good on the ground. Give me Nursultan Ruzaboyev. That sniper piston-like right hand that he's got, and his versatility is going to really pay dividends in this fight. And I guess you can give me Rodolfo Bellato. I mean, you can replace Rodolfo Bellato with, let me see. Shit, you can replace Rodolfo Bellato with Thiago Moises or Duvalle. I mean, either way, one of them are good. But these are my top 5 locks of the night. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the underdog section. And let's keep on running it.
I'ma spend your money with me in the dog pound. Young niggas in the game for a check. Do 150 across the city when it goes down. Young niggas better aim for the deck. It was about 3:15, what they say about me. Somebody gon' pay for the debt. And every time I show up on these niggas when I come round, young nigga got a thing for respect. Come and spend your money with me in the dog pound. Young niggas in the game for a check. Do 150 across the city when it goes down. Young niggas better aim for the deck. It was about 3:15, what they say about me. Somebody gon' pay for the debt. And every time I show up on these niggas when I come round, young nigga got a thing for respect. No, I ain't spend a lot of money on a chain. Shit, I'm too busy in the jungle with the Migos, nigga. I just put a lot of money towards the thing. And I just kept my focus forward toward the CeeLos, nigga. And the Migos call me Skipper with the bang. I just let them niggas know I do my thing. You hear the police think I'm rocking with the Rico niggas? Just let them know I only entertain. Cause you know you only see me flocking with the best. Always been that nigga, see me throwing up the west. Every time you see me, I be dipping nothing less. Hundreds in the 50s and the 20s to the left. You can feel the tension in the people at the party last night.
29-28, your winner by unanimous decision, Dainara Tai Panther Lisboa.
Come and spend your money with me in the dog pound. Young niggas in the game for a check. Do 150 across the city when it goes down. Young niggas better aim for the deck. It was about 3:15, what they say about me. Somebody gon' pay for the debt. And every time I show up on these niggas when I come round, young nigga got a thing for respect. Come and spend your money with me in the dog pound. Young niggas in the game for a check. Do 150 across the city when it goes down. Young niggas better aim for the deck. It was about 3:15, what they say about me. Somebody gon' pay for the debt. And every time I show up on these niggas when I come round, young nigga got a thing for respect. No, I ain't spend a lot of money on a chain. Shit, I'm too busy in the jungle with the Migos, nigga. I just put a lot of money towards the thing. And I just kept my focus forward toward the CeeLos, nigga. And the Migos call me Skipper with the bang. I just let them niggas know I do my thing.
The underdog for the fight card is going to be Dainara Lisboa. I believe that she has a clear-cut edge in the striking department. Her grappling is nothing to sleep on either, regardless of Luana Santos having a judo base. Dainara Lisboa is going to be the bigger fighter here. I can see Luana Santos trying to rush in to establish a takedown, and Dainara Lisboa putting that Muay Thai clinch on her, putting that elbow right on her fucking throat or in her chin, and sweeping her off the feet with a takedown of her own, surprising the fuck out of Luana Santos. So that's the underdog pick. She got that dog in her, she got hands, and I believe she gonna fight for your money. Without further ado, UFC Vegas at the Apex. We back at the warehouse, It's going to be a good fight night. I'll see y'all there. Let's go.